Welcome to Ben After Dark Sneak Peek Edition. This is not the full episode, just the part we didn't have to redact. The rest streams right now on Daily Wire Plus. Brace yourself. Last week on Ben Destroys, we talked about two of humanity's worst exports colliding in a podcast that should have come with a FEMA alert. But here on Ben After Dark, we don't walk away from train wrecks. We grab popcorn and narrate them. So this week, I sat through every excruciating minute of that conversation, and now I'm bringing the highlights, or more accurately, the lowlights, in a special installment of Ben Destroys.
All women, to some degree, are sex working. And the reason I respect what Bonnie's doing is because Bonnie's making her own money with her own brains and being very honest and open about what she's doing. I respect what Bonnie's doing far more than the girls who have attacked me for rape charges, who got with me, asked for money, I said no, and then tried to put me in jail for it. That's sex work, but it's just criminal. It's just disingenuous. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the woman who goes out there and gets married to a man she barely loves and divorces him 2 years later and takes half of his estate. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the women who are out in Dubai dating 5 or 6, 7 different men, just getting handbags and rent and all of this stuff and pretending to be an angel and putting boss chick working real estate on her Instagram. All these women are doing the same shit. But Bonnie's open about it. Bonnie's honest about it.
Even Bonnie Blue looks embarrassed by this rant, which is shocking because she does not have an embarrassment bone. She's had every other bone in her body, but she does not have an embarrassment bone. And Andrew Tate trying to compare women who are getting married and then they have an intention of divorcing in 2 years. Okay, let's be clear. There are gradations of bad. And many things can be bad all at once. See, here's the thing. I have an actual moral standard. Here's the moral standard, right? My actual moral standard, a biblical, traditional moral standard. People, men and women, should have sex with people they are married to. And those are the only people they should have sex with. That was the standard for literally most of human history. So I would love for that to be the standard. But listening to Andrew Tate excuse his own degraded pornography industry, which he, again, engaged in. He was a cam girl porn purveyor. Listening to him excuse himself by referencing some random girl who acts badly with men or excusing Bonnie Blue. Again, this isn't about Bonnie Blue. Understand what he's doing. He's excusing him because it has nothing to do with Bonnie Blue. He's not defending Bonnie Blue. He's defending himself. People looking to him as some sort of honest purveyor of truth make your life worse by listening to Andrew Tate. Seriously, that should be the bumper sticker here.
So do you think you're a good role model for women?
I'm a clear example of what women have fought for years. Of
what?
Taking control of your body.
Correct.
Being independent. I earn my own money. I don't rely on a guy. I'm
Girl
paid
power.
Exactly. I'm paid more than other guys.
100%.
Do you think
She is a clear example of what women have been fighting for years. Absolutely correct.
And now
I'm not going to sit here and lecture you about God. I'm not going to sit here and tell, no, that's all bullshit. She is a clear example of what women have been fighting for years.
Yeah.
Women believe that they can do whatever they want.
do you think they should be able to?
If women want to run around and do whatever they want to do, it's up to them. My point is, all women, on some scale, are doing what Bonnie Blue is doing. However, Bonnie Blue is just the best at it.
What a piece of shit he is, truly. Again, she's awful. And I will say this. She's not wrong that feminism makes arguments that lead to the Bonnie Bluification of society. This was the feminist pitch, the third wave feminist pitch, not the first wave. First wave feminism was women should be able to work. Totally agree. Women should be able to vote. Of course agree. Women should be able to make choices about marriage and they should have children or not have children in a free country. Now, again, I think that it is better for people to have children, obviously. I think it's better for people to get married. Third wave feminism said something different. Third wave feminism said that basically we are supposed to treat it as all forms of sex are supposed to be treated as identical. The genders are to be treated as identical. Marriage is an imposition on women. And that the truest form of independence is you don't need no man because you can get paid for sex would be a form of feminism. But she's not saying there what she thinks she's saying. And you think that's where Tate's going to go, right? But he doesn't. Then he says, no, it's fine with me if she acts like that. She's fine with me if she acts like that. I'm not going to lecture you about God or any other. By the way, does this guy seem like a religious Muslim to you? Seriously, that's what he says he is. He's a Muslim. Does that seem like that to you? Or do they seem like the values of a pimp?
When you see a man who wants to play with a baby all day, that man is probably gay. It's boring.
Well,
So
it doesn't mean he wants a kid.
No, he's gay. He's gay. So real men just want to, pregnant, money, cool. See you an hour a week. Boom, boom, boom. Now, there's a lot of men who are going to disagree with me on that, but those are a lot of men I can beat the shit out of, so I don't give a fuck. That's the truth of it. The female imperative is to find a man who's obsessed with her so that when she gets pregnant, she's going to have protection and provision when she's not capable of looking after herself. That is the female biological imperative and the masculine biological imperative. I'm still living to my biological imperative to some degree. If I were to, let's say, have 4 or 5 women and I had kids with 4 or 5 women and I took care of 4 or 5 women and I was with all of them and they were exclusively only with me and we had children over and over and over again, that's my biological imperative.
Okay, so let me explain. A man who wants to play with his children is not gay. A man who brags about wanting to sleep with transgender women, like Andrew Tate has, is gay. A man who spends all day walking around shirtless in front of other people, smoking a cigar with his waxed chest, a little gay. Okay, just going to put that out there. As far as Andrew Tate saying he can beat the shit out of people, what is this, 5th grade? I mean, if you want to go beat the shit out of other people, then you should get back into kickboxing and see how you do against the professionals. That is so stupid. The measure of masculinity is now how many random chicks you can bang while bilking your followers out of their hard-earned money with bullshit scams like Tate University, talking with porn stars, and gallivanting around in the most gay possible fashion in your underwear while doing curls. Like, you're ridiculous. But playing with a baby, playing with your children is gay. Then there is the notion that women are looking for a man who will take care of them and love them. That, of course, is true. So he combines a false thing with a true thing, and then he puts them both together. It is true, biologically speaking, that men seek to sleep with many women. That is, of course, the truth. That is true in mammalian species generally. Okay, however, that does not mean that's how things should be. And when he says that he, if he impregnates 5, 6 different women and he takes care of them, he means he doesn't play with the babies. He just foists the babies on the moms and then goes completely absent other than the check. This is how you end up with, by the way, truly terrible societies where men are not involved with their kids. Bad things happen. This is why, for example, the children of single mothers have much higher rates of criminality, high school dropout, drug use, suicidal ideation. But we're supposed to pretend along with him that the descriptive, meaning man's desire to sleep with many women, is what ought to happen. This is why people need to be civilized. This is why civilization exists, to civilize people, to make them better. Just because people are naturally inclined to act a certain way does not mean that's the way they should act. That is the key discovery of human morality. If you're listening to the advice from people like Andrew Tate, you are making a serious, serious life mistake. You might already own a firearm. Starting with a less lethal option, however, to avoid the financial and mental repercussions of pulling the trigger, that's essential. Enter Byrna. That's Byrna. I'm about as pro-Second Amendment as it gets. I own a bevy of firearms, but the thought of using lethal force in my home, sometimes less than ideal. Luckily, Byrna's less lethal launchers are equipped with tear gas and kinetic ammo designed to incapacitate an attacker for up to 40 minutes without the unwanted repercussions. And Byrna is excited to introduce the all-new compact launcher. Sleek, slim, hits like a sledgehammer. The same size as a smartphone, allowing you to conceal carry everywhere comfortably and with confidence. This launcher fires at 400 feet per second with 41 joules of force per square inch. It's a lot of stopping power to stop those aggressors in their tracks without having to deal with the complexities of, God forbid, actually shooting somebody. One thing I love about Byrna is they are American. Over 80% of the components in the compact launcher are sourced in the United States. Their pistols are hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. To give you peace of mind, particularly if we live in a state that has heavy gun regulations, Byrna is a great solution. Byrna is legal in all 50 states. It requires no background checks. It can be shipped directly to your door. Plus, Byrna is trusted by hundreds of police departments and government agencies around the world. Try before you buy. Thank you to Byrna for sponsoring this video. And if you haven't yet, go check out this week's episode of Ben After Dark on Daily Wire Plus, brought to you by Byrna. I always assumed restless sleep was inevitable. Night after night, tossing, turning, waking up with an aching back. I convinced myself that's how sleep was supposed to be. And then I tried Helix Sleep and everything changed. It's truly been transformative for my sleep quality. What makes Helix different? They're not just going to sell you a random mattress. They match you with the perfect mattress for your body and sleep style. Whether you're a side sleeper, back sleeper, somewhere in between, they've got you covered. They make it so simple to get your best night's sleep every single night. All you have to do is take their sleep quiz and get matched with a custom mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. And trust me, when you find the right match, you'll wonder how you ever slept on anything else. I'm abroad right now. I'm traveling. I'm staying in a really nice hotel. I got to say, I miss my Helix Sleep mattress. It is just that good. Right now, Helix is offering an incredible 4th of July sale. Visit helixsleep.com/Ben. Get 27% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/Ben for 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you. Again, just visit helixsleep.com/Ben for this exclusive offer. Why wouldn't you get a mattress made just for you? Instead of buying one of those generic mattresses that you're going to sleep, get one that's made for you. You'll sleep better. Try it. helixsleep.com/Ben.
When's the last, you've been in Dubai recently.
Yeah.
Find a woman who ain't sex working. That is a challenge, sir. $1 million to find a woman who ain't living off a man. Because that is sex work. You giving sex and she's giving you money. That's the game. I tweeted
It's actually so true. I've never thought of it like that.
I tweeted
when
this.
people are boyfriend and girlfriends, the
It's
majority
sex
of
work.
the time they do a low-paid job. They've not got the education to do anything better. So, and they're having sex with the partners, keep them interested. The partner's paying the bills. It's a sex work with one client.
100%. I said this. I tweeted it, and the whole world lost its mind because you know me. I'm a provocateur. But I said, yeah, women are sex workers. You can either have a bunch of customers with OnlyFans, or you can have one customer called a husband or boyfriend.
Again, know who the mark is. If you don't understand what he's doing, you're the mark. Okay, what he is saying to young men is that you should treat women like trash because women are trash. And if you are failing to attract a good mate, that is because women are bad. And you should not fix yourself. You should not make yourself better in any way. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the fact that women, as an entire subclass of the human species, are just garbage. That they're all, and marriage is a scam. And so what you really should do is pay Andrew Tate a bunch of your own money at Tate University so that you can get rich and drive fancy cars and get high-class hookers the way that Andrew Tate does. That is the pitch. You're the mark. None of that is true. It's not true. Treating marriage as a high-class hooker situation is a fantastic category error, extraordinary category error. Okay? I did not marry my wife simply because I wanted to have sex with her. That was not the only reason. It's why you date for values. It's why you date to build a family. It's why you care about the person beyond just their genitals. The fact that he degrades women to their genitals or men to their genitals, it's a way for him to make money off of you. This is all a giant grift. It's a giant grift.
I don't operate from the realm of regret. And I don't regret going to jail, and I don't regret anything bad that's ever happened to me, and I never will. If bad things happen to me in the future, I won't regret them either. I just don't operate from that frame. I really do consider myself far more a commentator on life than a liver of life. I am a vessel, but I observe everything from above. And what happens to me, this is just the body, the conduit that God was fortunate enough to give me to observe life through. I'm glad he made it tall and strong and sexy and brown. That's great. But I'm quite externalized about things. And if I go to jail, I'll enjoy the experience of jail. And
are you hard on yourself?
You have to be. Otherwise, you can't win.
First of all, I'd like to note the language there. Really interesting language. He says, I don't regret anything that's happened to me. That's not usually what a regret is. The definition of regret is not something that happened to you. First of all, there are lots of things in life that if we are defining regret in his way, you would regret happening to you. If God forbid a close relative died, you'd regret that happening to you. Usually when you have a real regret, it's of something you did. You remember something that you did that was immoral, wrong, that you wish you had done differently. There's not a good person on the planet who does not live in a world of regretted decisions that they wish they had done differently. Typically not even with regard to business, but with regard to life. You were mean to somebody and you didn't have to be. You said something to your spouse or to a close friend that you wish you hadn't said. You made a decision when you were in 7th grade to be mean to a kid, and you still feel bad about that 30 years later. Right? That's what good people do. Bad people live in a world of no regrets. Terrible people live in a world where they never regret any moral decision they made. Because if you regret something, that is the basis for repentance. The basis of moral life is recognizing you're going to sin, recognizing you're going to make mistakes, recognizing you're going to do things that you regret and that you wish you hadn't done, and then never doing those things again. That's how you get better at things. It's how you become more moral. It's how you become a better human being. If you have no regrets about anything you've ever done, any decision you've ever made, well, then what that means is that you've not gotten better in any way. You are doomed to repeat all of your moral failings. And there's a Talmudic idea, and I know that Andrew Tate is not fond of the Jews, which is just an extra reason for me to cite the Talmud here. So there's a Talmudic idea that when you truly repent, your sins become merits. What does that mean? What that means is not that sinful thing you did, that terrible thing you did to your friend or to your wife or your kids suddenly became good. The idea is that when you made a sin and when you corrected that sin, that is the impetus for you to do better and become a better human being than you were before. And so the sin turns into the jet fuel for making you a better person. Regret is deeply important. And I think it's indicative of just what a terrible person Tate is, that he has no regrets and that he phrases regret in terms of, I don't regret anything that's happened to me. He's never done anything bad, according to Andrew Tate, which is an amazing thing considering the man was literally a pornographer and is currently scamming people out of money. Well, I mean, again, well within character for him.
This is the Western world we've built. We've built a Western world where men are just tax slaves and women are the most important things on the planet who can do whatever they fucking want, and they're always permanent victims / always permanently right, and they're girl bosses and we're dumbasses and we just have to build the roads and build the buildings and die in ditches, and this is all a woman's world and it's a matriarchy. So if that's the world we live in, let women do whatever the fuck they want. Cool. and the government can raise the kids. And this is the new society we've built, the new utopia. Fantastic.
Okay, so first of all, again, he always says one true thing and one false thing. It is true that we have constructed law that is detrimental to men. Divorce law, very detrimental to men as currently constructed. The idea that men automatically almost are going to have to pay, for example, for the divorce settlement. They're going to have to pay alimony, right? That's not always true, but in divorce law, the law favors women, for example. He is right that feminism has completely skewed the perspective that human beings, normal humans, have about men. All of that is true. And even when he says that many women now consider themselves victims, which is why you saw so many hands go up during the Me Too era for women who are not actually raped or sexually abused. Yes, we have created a society in which it is beneficial to be a victim. But there is no bigger pseudo-victim on planet Earth than Andrew Tate. No bigger pseudo-victim. You know, when I talk about lions and scavengers, lions think of themselves as people who are able to take control of situations, people who fix the problems they find themselves in. Scavengers are people who spend all day whining about the systems. Andrew Tate whines about the system and then undermines everything that is good about the system, as well as criticizing the bad things about the system. There is no bigger whiner on planet Earth than Andrew Tate. He whines nonstop about the Matrix is coming after him, about the matriarchy, how everything is so terrible for him, and it's terrible for you too. But simultaneously, he's great because he's broken through the Matrix, and if you just give him $9.99 a month, then he will break through the Matrix on your behalf as well. What an absolute leech he is. Pick your mentors, folks. Pick the people who you wish to emulate in life. Find a life that looks good to you, fulfilling to you in the long run, and then emulate those people. Anybody who's appearing on a podcast with Bonnie Blue, I think that's a good indicator as to who not to follow. Congratulations, you survived a clip from Ben After Dark. Ready to keep spiraling? Click the link. I'll be there saying something I'm probably not supposed to.